How are you doing?
Hi, I'd like to start.
Roy, what's your assessment after the record of 5 defeats now is unprecedented in top flight history? How do you see your new team?
Well, today I thought it was a disappointing performance. The nervosity, the anxiety that was there for all to see in the first half in particular. Not made easier, of course, by conceding the early goal and going 1-0 down. Second half, I thought we did a little bit better, and we did get up to the ball better in midfield in the second half. Nowhere near as well as I would perhaps have liked, but there were signs that the people wanted to do that, and also there were signs in the second half that we were prepared to put our foot on the ball and pass it from time to time. I thought in the first half it was far too obvious that the tactic was to try and hit long balls up to Benteke and get knockdowns, and that didn't produce any real rewards. The major disappointment, of course, is that the attitude and the desire of the players that was obvious to us even in the 2 or 3 days we've been training. It didn't get any sort of reward and wasn't even really that evident in terms of the quality of football that we were playing. So now, as you rightly say, it's 5 defeats, it's 0 points, it's a really tough programme ahead if you look at the quality of the opponents. So it's painful today, and I fear it's going to be painful in some of the moments going forward. But there's no way you can talk yourself out of that. And there's no point in making bold statements that might not be ratified in some way. We've got to just get down to working with these players, deciding which ones are the best ones, and perhaps to get us out of trouble, because today the team was pretty much the team that played last week, and it was obvious that with people like Sacco and Papa Soare and Loftus-Cheek coming back from long injuries, the only one I was prepared to take a chance on was Ruben. I was pleased I did, because he played well, but he cramped up, and I was informed by the people on the field that he had to come off because he was cramping up and couldn't run anymore. But at least we got 80 minutes out of him, so that was positive. So it's a continued assessment of the players, continuing to work on the basic elements of football, which is being better defensively, being better on the ball and working on our attacking movements. And the other one, of course, is going to be the psychological aspect, where we've got to try very hard to make certain that people don't dig themselves into a grave. The statistics dig us into a grave, but only what we do on the football field can get us out of it or make the situation worse.
Roy, how did you feel yourself being back in the dugout after 5 minutes? Was it a case of, what have I let myself in for?
No, not at all. No, I'm really pleased to be back. I think I made that clear on many occasions, not least of all in the press conference yesterday. I'm really pleased to be back. I'm like every football match. Afterwards, if you've won it, you're bouncing a little bit, and you're on something of a high, and when you lose it, you're on something of a low. That's a fact of life, and that's not going to change for me from here and going forward. But I'm really pleased to be back. I was delighted with the reception I got from the crowd. I was really happy to be in that dugout at Selhurst Park. Looking forward to being here on Tuesday night. But you'll have to excuse the fact that at the moment I'm a little bit disappointed at, one, the result, and B, that we couldn't play better, and give our fans some hope there that this will all be okay. But things, you've been in football all you people, you know that things don't change in 2 days. Who knows? Maybe had we sneaked a result today, people would have lost their heads and lost even more sight of what work needs to be done here as a football team. Forget everything else, as a football team. But I know one thing, and I said at the press conference yesterday for the people who are here, there's no lack of attitude from the players and wanting to do things, wanting to work, wanting to to try and become better as a team, as individuals. But as I say, psychologically, we have got a fight on our hands, but we'll take that fight on.
Roy, did you detect a lack of confidence within the players? Confidence is such a big part of football, that they can do all the application, all the work you want them to do.
I think it's a good question. I don't know that you ever really detect that per se in training sessions. I think it's more the games that where you detect it, because that's when the crowd are there, and that's when every missed pass or every lack of control is being viewed by 25,000 people in the stadium and millions on the television. That's when you notice it most, and you have to be careful not to dupe yourself sometimes in training sessions that things are different. You have to really make certain that you know and make your judgments on the games. Now the players understand that, and they will expect me to do that, but as coaches all we can do is try and work hard with them to make them into a better team, and as I say, that's what we'll try and do.
Roy, you talk about the psychological battle. I mean, is part of that battle the fact that, as you've alluded to, you've got Man City, Man United and Chelsea as your next three games, all of whom have made
great starts,
and are going to be pretty formidable opposition, and that having made the start you made before you got here, you're kind of already in the hole before you played it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I can't deny one word of what you said, and everything is 100%. The only thing is, what as a manager coach do you do about it? I can't change those fixtures. We've got those fixtures to play. I can't score goals in those previous 5 games or change the points. All one can do really is to try and encourage the players to be as mentally strong as they can possibly be. And sometimes strange things happen. Sometimes the fact that no one expects you to win and people expect you to get thoroughly outplayed, you might give a better performance really than you think you can give. I don't know. But all I can say, Ollie, really is that once again that I'm very aware being here that words come easy and words are cheap. The work at Crystal Palace Football Club now is on that field of play in both training and matches, and it's going to be up to the players as well as the coaches to take that responsibility and accept that this is a bad moment for them. This is a bad moment for the club. But no amount of talking on my part can change that. It's got to be done on the field of play.
Roy, is it the case that reading here that your the solution to these type of problems is just to work constantly on the training ground with your players? Is that what you're planning to do? I mean, is that what you're going to have to do here? Like, does that involve like double sessions and all that kind of stuff?
No.
What's your way out of this in that sense?
Well, I don't know what I can say or add to what I've already said. I mean, you might have to leave me in some way. You might have something going on in your mind that could be done, you think, by a coach, and lead me down that route. So I don't really understand what I can say other than what I have said. I think most teams work hard on training fields, and I think all players. So I'm not suggesting that suddenly the work we would do on the training field will be so different to everyone else's that it will make a major difference. I'm not suggesting that work we will do on the training field will suddenly produce 3 or 4 Messis and Ronaldos in the next 2 or 3 months. We have got the squad of players that we have. They've got their strengths and weaknesses. We need to be aware of those strengths and weaknesses. We need in training to try and improve the strengths and cover up maybe sometimes the weaknesses. We need to be very analytical in our judgment of the players that we are working with to make certain that we, in our opinion, get the best 11 players on the field of play. I've not really had the chance to do that yet because I've only had 2 days of preparation for the game. So these are the things I mean by continuing to work that way. Please don't think that by saying we're going to work on the training field that is the be-all and end-all, because I'm not the only coach who works on the training field. There's lots of others do too. We've got to become a better football team, and to do that, the players have got to help me make them into a better football team.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Roy, given your long history, is this one of the toughest tasks you've faced?
At the moment, no, because I feel very good about being here. I feel that the players are very much in support, or will be in support. I feel that the chairman and the board are in support, and we all want the same thing. And we all realise at the moment, we've got to do an awful lot to get that thing that we want. So, of course, it's a challenge. Of course, it's tough. But what isn't really? There are no dream jobs where you just walk in and put your tracksuit on and then everything suddenly materialises and goes well. You've got to work for these things. I'm happy that I've got the chance to be here to work for these things. I'll accept that it's going to be tough from time to time, and I'll look forward to the day when we see signs of improvement and we start to pick up and get some points, because I believe that's what we're going to do. I have faith.
Thank you. We'll just speak to the Mondays just outside.
Thanks.
Thanks, Roy.